Hey, what is up everyone? So it's been one whole week since Season 12 Sea of Thieves and the launch of the PlayStation 5 version of Sea of Thieves has been released, and one of the things that was a bit more of a controversial decision by Rare was the inclusion of the Stone Curse inside of the Plunder Pass, making it the first premium curse ever in the game. I've talked a little bit about my thoughts in that in a few different videos, but really what I want to focus on in today's video is really focusing on that. And I think for this Saturday's video, I'm going to talk more about my general thoughts on the season as a whole. So if you're looking for something about that, stay tuned, that will be coming pretty shortly. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about the curse that we got. So the Season 12 Plunder Pass, we got two new curses added to the game, making it the first curses that were available for real world money to purchase. This was the Creeping Stone Curse and just the general Stone Curse. So we have seen curses in the Season Pass before, mainly with the Pirate Legend Curse back in Season 1, but that was one part of the free pass, so it was just part of the game, it wasn't something extra that you had to pay for. And it also required more work to actually unlock because it was a Pirate Legend reward, so you had to already be Pirate Legend to be able to get access to it. And then if you didn't get it during the season that it was played in, you had to wait and get it in Season 8 when they added some of the newer curses and you were able to unlock it with that update. So it's not uncommon for us to see curses inside the Season Pass. What is uncommon is having a way to pay for it that is not part of the game, and it feels a little bit less rewarding to me when it's something like this. Like I just said, you had to have gone to Pirate Legend before, so there was a bit of work that you had to do to be able to get to that point. Whereas with it being in the Plunder Pass now, where it's just, if you pay the $10, you get it, it doesn't feel the same to me. With that said though, there's ways that you could justify having a premium curse, and I got into a little bit of that when we had the before you buy on the Plunder Pass, but I really want to dive into that now in this video. So one of the things I would really love to see Sea of Thieves do more of with the cosmetics in the game is having reactive cosmetics. So we see this in other games like Fortnite and stuff, the game that I'm more familiar with. Other things, I think Rocket League has some stuff that's similar to this. And we kind of have stuff like that inside of Sea of Thieves currently, mainly with the Isle Hopper set, where during the day it looks like normal, and then at night you have like the different things are glowing and stuff. That's in a sense kind of reactive to the rest of the world. Now what I would like to see is with the curses taken a step further than that. So if you want to have a way to justify, okay, this is what makes a premium level curse as opposed to just a curse that's available in the game, make it so that it's reactive. So I suggested this in the past with the gold curse. I think it'd be really cool to see a new version of the gold curse where the more treasure you have on your ship, the more the gold curse took over your body, almost being like, okay, the more greedy you're getting, the more gold you turn into. You could have done something similar with the stone curse, and we kind of already almost had a start to it. Like, they were so close, because they have the creeping stone curse that we saw with this season's pass, where that's what you get as an early unlock, and it's basically just small parts of your body that are a little bit of stone. And it would have been really cool to see that being something that was reactive, where it could be like a progressive stone curse. Maybe it could be based off playtime, how long you've been playing in the game that day, and it just kind of takes over your body as you go along. Or maybe there could be other ways to do reactive stuff. I think another cool thing that you could have done with the stone aspect of a reactive curse is each time you take damage, it starts cracking the stone. And that would be really cool because that could make it look really interesting to have like all these like cracked pieces, and maybe it even reacts like when someone hits you with a sword or you get shot or something, little chunks of stone like fly off your body. Things like that would require a little bit more work from Rare to make, but it would justify, I think, spending the money for that. And I really have a feeling that the reason they chose Season 12 to do this is because the people that are coming from PlayStation have no idea that this isn't normal. They have no reason to think that, curses are meant to be part of the game as like an achievement to unlock. That I think they're really trying to push the idea with Season 12 in this new Plunder Pass, like, hey, curses going forward are what you're going to be paying for through the Plunder Pass. And I can really see that happening. And I think what you're going to see is like each season that's going to be the new thing. There's going to be a new curse to unlock through the Plunder Pass. I could be totally wrong, but I think that's going to become a standard. Just like how the collector's versions of stuff became a standard in the Plunder Pass, same with the 750 ancient coins being a standard now with the Plunder Pass. So I think this is going to be the next standard item in there. So I think there's a lot of things that Rare could do to justify making a curse premium. But I think when you combine this, not just with, just the curse being very generic in the sense of there's nothing that makes this stand out as opposed to the other curses in the game to really say why this one's a premium one as opposed to other ones. You combine that with the fact that at the same time they're doing this, they're really just like pulling away things that used to be features of the game. So like adventures are gone. We were getting the cinematic story trailers for a while. Those are gone. Those I really loved. I thought those were a great way of telling the story and stuff. For a long time we were lacking good, consistent updates. Obviously Season 12 is a much better update than what we had before. I'm going to get more into that when we talk in Saturday's video. But you combine, everything that we're seeing, and it feels like Rare only chooses to add features in that they can monetize. So if you think about it, like, why did we get the updates that we got with Season 12? Why are they adding, these 2 new weapons instead of, say, adding, a new location on the map to go visit, like with the Sea Fort that we got in Season 6? Why don't we get, like, a new, like, Sea Fort type thing in the game? Well, because with the new weapons, they can sell skins for that. They can sell you special Pirate Emporium daggers and special Pirate Emporium double barrel flintlocks and stuff like that. So that's why they prioritize doing that instead of prioritizing adding like a new gameplay location or thing to do in that sense. I'm not faulting them for that, but I feel like I've noticed that more so lately. Same thing with the Tall Tales. We don't really get original Tall Tales in the game anymore because they can do stuff like the Pirates of the Caribbean and Monkey Island Tall Tales, which then they can sell a ton of crossover cosmetics that go with it, and that's like kind of the justification for adding that kind of gameplay in. And with that said, I don't have any problem with any of that stuff. They need to make money to keep the game going. No problem with them trying to, make money from the game. But I think we used to see in the past where updates were focused on the gameplay first and monetization second. And the monetization was really just people, buying outfits or, special weapon skins and stuff, and really just wanting to support the developers. Whereas now it really feels like a lot of stuff's getting more nickel and dime with, say, curses now being premium and removing the stuff that we were getting used to in the game, like adventures and things like that. Based off some of the comments that I've seen on like when I've talked about this before, I think I'm in more of the minority of this thought, but y'all can let me know in the comments below. I preferred with the Plunder Pass when we had costumes in the past instead of what we've been getting the last few seasons with clothing items, and now we're getting the curses. I would much rather see the curses be part of the main game, locked behind commendations, and it was something that you would had to work to achieve, and then have, for the Plunder Pass, have it be a unique costume that goes with the theme well, and then don't worry about doing, the clothing items and stuff, just do the costumes. They were able to do so much more with the costumes, I feel like, as opposed to with the clothing items. The clothing items just look very much the same as the stuff that's in the regular pirate shop, and they just look like, regular clothes, because that's kind of what they are. And it's kind of my same point against the curse being in the Plunder Pass, with it basically being the question of what makes this a premium curse as opposed to a regular curse in the game. With the costumes, you could make that argument a little bit more clearly because there was not that many costumes that were unlockable in the game. There's really only a handful of them, and then really out of all the costumes that you can unlock in the game, I would really only say the Soul Flame Captain is like the most premium of those. Like, they probably have sold that inside the Pirate Emporium and people would understand that, and because it's a really great costume, but luckily it's part of the main game. But the expectation for the costumes that we get in the game aren't really there. It's really just stuff like the trading company outfits and things like that. Those are the kind of costumes that we are kind of used to in the game. So they could have kept doing the costumes inside the Plunder Pass, and I think that would have been a better value sell. do the stone curse. I think the stone curse is great. Have that inside the game. Have it unlockable with something that we do as like a commendation for the new stuff that was added with season 12. We got a whole bunch of new commendations to unlock for the war chest part of the build rat commendations. So it could have definitely gone with something like that, where it's just one of the unlocks from doing all of those. That, I think, would have made the curse more valuable, because here's the problem, right? Right now, what I've been noticing is when I'm going on to the game, I'm seeing everyone sail around with the Dark Warsmith set on, and at first I was like, oh, this is odd that there's a lot of people wearing this now. I don't know why that's making a comeback. That was from season 2, but then it made me think again, oh wait, the premium version of Sea of Thieves gave you the Dark Warsmith stuff, so that's why I'm seeing so many of those now. I think the same thing's going to happen with the Stone Curse, where it's going to devalue it because it's going to be so commonplace. Especially everyone that has the Dark Warsmith stuff right now also has access to the Season 12 Plunder Pass, meaning they will have the Stone Curse almost guaranteed. So just because of that alone, you're going to see the Stone Curse so often and everywhere basically, that it's not going to be like a high value reward. It's not going to be the same as seeing the Gold Curse on, or even the Ashen Curse. Even though the Ashen Curse is, relatively easy to unlock, it's not the hard one to unlock. It is harder to do than getting the Stone Curse. So you do have to go out of your way more to get it. And I think it has a different reputation associated with it. But like I said at the beginning, I am okay with there being premium curses in the game, just like everything else. You just have to give a valid justification for the value sell. Why is this, a premium item now? And the thing I'll always bring up, because I think people will push back on it, like, oh yeah, it's fine, they need to make their money. How are we supposed to make their money? Blah, blah, blah. There's a different argument when it comes to free-to-play games versus paid games. Sea of Thieves is a full price game. Unless you get it through Game Pass, the cheapest way you can get like the cheapest version of the game outside of sales and everything is $40. That's how much they sold it for on the PlayStation platform, as well as the different versions of the game on other platforms. So that was the cheapest version. And then if you go higher than that, I think the premium version on the PlayStation Store was even higher than the regular version of the game. And the premium version was, I believe, around $70 to $90. I don't remember an exact number in my head, but it was pretty high. I think it was closer to that $70 mark. That is a full price game there. So to kind of nickel and dime on certain things that used to be like the achievements in the game, it's almost like saying that, Xbox achievements or like the trophies that are on PlayStation, having to pay for those now, people would lose their mind, I think. So that's kind of how I view the curses in the game. The curses used to be like an achievement, like a visual achievement. Other than that, you really have like titles. Titles are the only other thing that you can't like buy as being like an achievement. But then again, the titles are so prevalent. Like there's so many titles in the game that they don't even really matter to a certain extent. Like unless you have only a handful of titles, like Legendary Thief I think is a pretty cool, rewarding title to have on, as well as a handful of others. Most of them, people don't even really think about anymore. Like you get like 10 different titles every season just from the season pass alone. And then you think about all the stuff from the different promotions for the trading companies, all the sorts of things like that, that all come with different titles and everything. So curses were really the only thing I could think of that prior to season 12, you couldn't pay for as a way to like show off your achievement. But with that, I think that covers all my thoughts on premium curses in the game. Not opposed to it, but I also don't think it's a great idea unless they're going to really do something interesting with it. I'd love to hear what y'all think about this topic in the comments below, but if you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye y'all.